Hey, everybody. First episode of the new year. Happy New Year. I hope that it was beautiful for you. I hope that you reflected. I hope that even if you don't do anything until March, the proven time and space where we should be celebrating newness, that you still had a moment to reflect on 23 and make some tweaks or some changes for this upcoming year. I have got a lot of information that's going to come, a lot of podcasts, a lot of value to share with you all as we all work on our goals this year. Now, my audio has been jacked. It has been a mess. It has been flaky. It is not what we're used to. I've been having issues connecting my mic to my Mac, and it's just been a situation. However, so much value is here. I'm getting ready to let you listen to a podcast interview, one of the Healing Hour conversations that I had with the Polished Lady here in our town, Indianapolis, doing some amazing things. We had such a fun conversation, and she's just a sweet soul, and I'm really grateful that she gave me her space and time. Now, my audio was jacked up during our live conversation on Facebook. I didn't know that. So just bear with me as you listen to this. And thankfully, her audio was awesome, which was most important. So check it out. Let me know what you think. She is an amazing person, and you will see why here shortly. And you may have noticed that I changed the podcast name to She Can Achieve. I will put that in a separate episode of why and where they came from and my thoughts about it. But you may hear in this interview, because it was done before I changed the name, mentions of moms who achieve, same values, same energy. Keela's a mom. We're talking a lot about that. And I'm excited to share with you some changes that are coming to the podcast. That'll be on a following episode. All right, without further ado, here we go.
Hey,
How are you?
pretty good. There we go, baby. Now I'm cooking with grease.
With the yellow, as I know.
Got to, had to show up
Yeah.
in full uniform.
Thank you for being here. So it's gonna be a free-flowing conversation. We'll just talk about you, what you're doing in the world, how you got to that, and go from there. Okay.
Sounds good. By the way, girl, I mean to tell you, I love your hair, the color.
Oh, thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Shout out to Lita, who got me all the way together. I'm trying to see. Let's see if she's on here. She's on here a lot. Yeah, Laquita did my hair with Freedom Curls, y'all. Anybody listening? She's amazing. And honestly, my only regret is like after she gave me a little pop of color, it was like I need more. Like I need you to color all of this.
I definitely feel you. I've been telling my loctician for a long time I wanted some color, but I guess the yellow's enough for you for right now.
Yeah. Who's your loctician here?
Her name's Erica Davis, also known as the Retwist Slayer.
I think guys, yeah, your locks do look very good.
Thank you. She just retwisted today.
It's beautiful, man. I tried. I ain't tried hard enough, but I tried when I was going through my lock journey, and I quit.
Sometimes it's for us, sometimes it's not.
Yeah, I was going through I was pregnant with my last one, and it was just a hot mess, and I just couldn't take it. But I think I'll try again. I think I will. I don't know if I'll cut my hair off first, but we'll see. But what you rocking right now makes me want to try it again because that's so cute.
Come on to the other side.
I think I might. All right, so tell us who you are and a little bit about you.
Definitely. So first and foremost, hey, greetings, salutations, polished people. Y'all part of the Polished People tribe, y'all. My name is Keela McKee, also known in these streets very well as the Polished Lady. I am a media specialist, a host, influencer, and a brand ambassador to a few Black-owned businesses, local, and in different cities, global kind of. So my mission, I guess I would say, is to make sure I'm spreading positive light on the African American community, and just spreading love and light. Like anytime you meet me or get to have a conversation with me, I want you guys to leave energized and feeling like oh, she had nothing but love to give, and she brought light to this situation that I didn't know about.
Everybody, including myself, because I don't know clearly what a brand ambassador is.
Okay, so a brand ambassador is a, think of it as a long-term influencer. So the difference between a brand ambassador and an influencer is influencer contracts are more focused around like a campaign. So say for example, a company came out with a new juice and they just want to promote that juice heavily. So that's what an influencer will do, versus a brand ambassador is long-term situation where you guys are building a relationship, and you're also building the brand voice and story wrapped around your own life, your own day-to-day life. So I am a brand ambassador for Sip and Share Wines, and I think that's really cool because when I first met Nicole Kearney, I loved her to death. Loved her. But I kept telling her, I'm a tequila drinker. I don't drink wine. That ain't for me. That's not for me. And one day, at a block party, she gave me sangria with some fruit in it, some real fruit in it, and I just fell in love. And like she consistently, checked up on like, hey, have you tried this wine before? And I was like, yeah, no, I'm a tequila drinker. But slowly but surely, she converted me over, and I'm happy to tell the story. Like, okay, now I'm a little bit of a wine expert, because as she says, a lot of Black people don't have like the knowledge of what's a wine tasting. Nobody's ever really experienced it. A lot of times we drink to get there
Yeah.
instead of enjoy and understand its culture.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So she's a Black woman here.
She's Black. She's a Black woman. She's vegan owned as well. So yes, shout out to Sip and Share Wines, Nicole Kearney, wherever you are.
Kearney. I'm gonna shout her out, tag her or something afterwards. How you spell her name? Her last name?
It's Kearney. Yeah.
And I can actually agree because I just went to Cooper Talk a few weeks ago and there was a tasting there and I couldn't tell you what nothing was on it. I'm just like, and every time I get wine, I'm like, just give me something sweet. So I think it's interesting that we do have people out here on that. And I would like to support Sip and Share Wines. Y'all should check them out.
And if y'all use my code, y'all look, let me plug y'all real quick. If y'all use my code POLISH, you get 10% off your orders online. You can also find Sip and Share Wines in a lot of Total Wines. They're in the Indianapolis. Well, sorry, they call it Newfields now. I started to call it the Indianapolis Art Museum. That's how y'all know.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh, they're in there too. Okay, cool. Dang. Congratulations to her. That's awesome.
Right.
So when you do that, then do you commit to a certain amount of time or is this just like until it's over with?
So it's until like some of my brand ambassador contracts, like I'm the brand ambassador for the Mom Cave, and how that works, it is contract based, like with a time frame on it, because as a brand ambassador, I'm promoting the events and just showing up and kind of giving everybody a scope of what Mom Cave has to offer. So they will review what I've done within a year. Different contracts vary, but so with Sip and Share Wines, hopefully Sip and Share Wines, Key Creates, I Got Soul Boutique. Those are a couple of other brands that I'm a brand ambassador for. Hopefully we don't ever have a time limit. Hopefully we together forever.
Yeah. And so then you, as far as the brand ambassador, and I really want to talk about this. I know a lot of moms that are listening, they may be looking for extra income or something fun and different to do. And to me, that sounds fun. So when you are, I got two questions. You get paid like money or you get paid like in products? And then how do you choose who you decide to be a brand ambassador for?
Okay, so it's kind of vice versa. It just like really depends on your preference. But I will say, if you're doing it for the money, please grow your following. Understand the type of audience that you have. So when you go to a brand and you tell them like your analytics and your data, they have more respect and they don't question you as much when you say, hey, I need the free product and I need a check. So I would say that, because I noticed the influencer realm is becoming catchy to everybody. Influencer and brand ambassadoring is becoming catchy. Like, oh, I'm gonna make this my lifestyle. It's tough sometimes because I too have creator's block, sometimes. But at the end of the day, you gotta fulfill your contract. Make sure that you're getting the content out there. Make sure you're bringing the awareness to the brand or the products. And what was that last question? That last question was,
how do you choose? Like, it's right for me.
Okay, yeah. So with me in particular, I like to tell people up front like what I'm looking for. If it adds to my positive lifestyle, that's what I'll be promoting on my social media. So I don't want to derail from nothing that I haven't been doing. Of course, you grow when when you're getting into content and stuff like that. Of course, I've changed, I've evolved, but at the same time, like, you kind of know, like, does this really match my brand voice? Is my audience really gonna go for that? Like, for example, on my Instagram, my whole following, like 66.3% is female, like, and the 33 is male. So I know that when it's Friday night, I know, like, after we done got off work, we done picked up the kids, everybody wants to go pour them a glass of wine, sit down, burn a candle, and you can do that. But I also have to tell y'all where to get it, how to get the sweetest one, but I have to relay that message. It's something that I would do. I don't want to pick products and things that don't relate to me.
So you make sure that's in alignment by talking to them and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have a baby boy, right?
Yes, I do.
Tell us about him. And I know he got a little Instagram.
Period. Shout out to the Polished Prince. He upstairs. I can hear him making noise too. But Waleed is 5 years old. He's in kindergarten, and I started his Instagram page not because I thought like he was gonna be like a big influencer, like a kid influencer. I just really wanted to capture the moments and make sure that I had a space and place that we could relive and reshare our memories. So that's why he has his own Instagram platform. But my kid, he's kind of cute. He's handsome. So he's also been on his former school's billboard and on their bus advertisements, some brochure flyers for the school. So he does have a little resume starting. He's only 5, so
I love that shit. Also, this brings up a good point that I would love for you to give your perspective. As we are jumping into this really tech savvy, I mean, even more so than it has been. And people, there's always this, like, you have people on different sides of like putting our kids out there on social media, how we feel about safety, their privacy. So, I mean, I know you being the polished lady and being fine all over TV and doing all the interviews and all that stuff, you may have a different perspective for you, but does that transfer to like your son? Like, how do you have a line? How do you draw that? How do you think on that?
Oh yeah, so this is a good question, girl. You did that. So like Waleed, most people, they see him, they instantly like are yelling out the Polished Prince, and he knows like mommy's tagline, which is "Hey, polished people." So he'll say hello to, like, there's been times he's been with his father when I'm not around, and there people are like DMing me or taking pictures or telling me they met the Polished Prince, and I'm like, that's cool. Was I worried about safety? Of course, there's always going to be something out there in the world. No, and I just feel like I kind of prep him. I let him know, like, okay, we're going here, here, and here. when you are going into large spaces and places, people might know your name that you don't know their name. You could still say hello, but it's never okay to like leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has a big personality just like his mom. So he's always like, how does she know my name? Is she my cousin? Like, he likes to call the polished people his cousins. And I'm like, that's cool. But as long as he understands that they're here to support you, and if I ever felt like it wasn't a safe environment via social media or them seeing him out in public, then I definitely would strip the access from my kid. Like, his safety and how he feels is very important. But he hasn't. We talk a lot. Like, I'll sit him down as if we were doing an interview, and we'll talk about like, how was your day and what happened, and we basically have a conversation back to back. He's he definitely gonna be on TV someday.
Yeah, you said hell yeah. So I'm hearing there is boundaries involved. I'm hearing there's prepping. So you're not just sending him out to the world like, hey, everybody's your people. It's like, oh, this is why people know who you are. So that's not every kid situation, not the typical kid. Like, you go out, people know who you are. And then I hear you really like being able to hone in on your own intuition. Like, so you know, like okay, this is cool, this is not, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. And we have like a really open relationship where he could come talk to mom and let me know, like, mom, I'm not feeling this. Yeah. Like, I could think of a time like we went to a pumpkin patch, and there was a lady, like, she didn't know him off via his social media, but she was just mesmerized. My son has like raised arched eyebrows, like,
yeah, he does. Yep, I see it.
And this lady just could not get over it, and she was just like trying to touch him, and he let her, like, he
shut that down.
And I wasn't mad at him, because I was just like, you shouldn't be touching other people's kids. One, two, like, boundaries. He didn't feel comfortable. If he felt your presence and he was feeling it, he would have let you continue. He's a very friendly, young, handsome man, but not that day. The pumpkin patch, it was going down. He said, no, you were not going to touch me. And I respect him for it. Like,
I love that. I love that, because we don't really talk enough about that, or I think the conversation can be ongoing around respecting a child's wishes. Like, I love that we're out of this state of, oh, that's your uncle, go give them a hug, or you better go hug that such and such, and really giving autonomy back to our kids of like, how do you feel about it? Because I find that I've done a lot of research around molestation and things like that, and what I have found is that not that it's a hard stop on the data, but that a lot of kids that get molested or things happen to them in that way, and even adults, I've seen the reviews about that, like adult women, when things have happened, they always talk about how like there was a red flag there. They didn't feel right before it happened, like some kind of thing. I really believe highly in our own intuition, but we kind of take that away from kids when we basically tell them, and not just hugging someone, letting someone touch you in all different aspects, to ignore how they feel within to make other people comfortable. And I really feel that's a major part in how we have conditioned most people, all of us to a certain extent, to people please as adults and as we get older.
Which is what some things we gotta unlearn for real. Because how can I make you feel comfortable but I'm not comfortable?
Yes. Yeah,
so.
I find everything goes down to that. So you're very outgoing. I didn't even start with this. So we met y'all organically on Facebook. We didn't meet at first in person.
Not first, but on Facebook, yeah.
And then I think, wasn't it the Boss Babe brunch we met in person first time?
We were actually, okay, can you hear me? Okay, we were actually at the Boss Babes, the intimate space. Well, we had
were you doing an interview there, or was you just there?
I was doing interviews. I was doing live coverage of the event. Shout out to Boss Babe Network.
Yes, I should have had their shirt on, like, for real.
Hey, but we love Flourish Avenue too.
Yeah. Oh, you know them?
So
actually, it was just I think one of the co-owners, Virgil, shout out to him. It was just his birthday yesterday. Um,
wow.
so one thing I will say, what makes me different, you didn't ask me yet, but I'm gonna tell you because I've been getting this question a lot lately, and I just feel like in my spirit, what makes me different from other content creators and influencer, brand ambassador, whatever you want to call it, baby, is I'm on the ground when it comes to uh my community. So my content is for the community. It's for my polished people to absorb and do with it what they will. So like I said, like I know different organizations, and we kind of talked about it too, about I am like the resource that connects businesses to community. Simplest put. And I know when it's your birthday, I know when you got a family reunion going on, or you got an event. Flourish Avenue just had their Showtime on Flourish event. That was tight.
Damn, you gotta tag them afterwards into this because you know that. That's what's up.
Yeah, so it's a lot of things that I'm proud of, but I would really say being in tune with my community. I've been born and raised in Indianapolis, Indiana, and I've really taken ownership of all the great things that we have to offer. Um, Sometimes we got to search a little harder than others, but there's really a lot of gems in Indy.
Yes,
A lot of gems.
it's like so many. Like I tell people all the time, I constantly have to battle between do I do this event, do I do that? Like constantly, there's never, especially a weekend. But you can damn near find events during the week, damn near every day. But I have to constantly like, damn, what y'all do? I don't know. So when people say like Indy is boring, I mean they just not connected. Like that's the end of it.
Yeah, and I feel like there's a different, like the crowd is based on your audience too. And I just know my people are professionals, like young professionals, but they still like to have a social
Yeah.
outing, and they want to do more for the community, but they also want to have fun while they're doing it. So it's nothing wrong with that. Like you could be a all going club person, knock yourself out. But that's not my whole audience. That's not what they own.
They like to do a little different thing. So I hear you. I know you're doing the interview. That's how I met you. It's like, oh, she interviews people. But like as I got to know you, like you do much more than that. You cover a lot of events, and like you just stated, like you stay connected. So I oftentimes will see like, oh, what Keela got going on? What she? Because I know you're sharing what's happening, or you're in what's happening. You're there, and I can appreciate that being a local myself. With you having to do all that, like that causes you to have to be out in the world so much. Like, have you always been outgoing? How has like your child?
Okay. So yeah, no, I have not always been outgoing. Believe it or not, you guys, all the way from elementary school to middle school, I had speech classes, like speech therapy classes. So a lot of times I was trying to like fix my lisp, I would say, like fix the way I pronounce words and stuff like that. And on top of that, like I was a quiet person. I used to get bullied for like wearing Payless shoes and all that stuff. So I just didn't want to talk. I didn't want to talk. And I will say like that breaking point that made me use my voice more was when I went to college at Indiana State, and I got bullied like bad.
Even at college? Damn.
Yes, in college. My roommate, she keyed my microwave. She felt like I let our APA write her up, and I didn't tell her, so she felt like I was with the APA on writing her up or whatever because me and the APA were friends. But it got so bad to the point where they had to isolate me, put me in a separate room, dorm room, and there were certain times I could go into like the dining area. I wouldn't go to my classes, but I'd be in my room all day, and I would be completing homework assignments months, like 2 months in advance. Run into the professor's office hours if I had any questions, sending a lot of emails. But I remember because me and this roommate that I had, we had two or three classes together, but I just didn't go. But I remember Dr. Jefferson, she told me, she's like, why would you let her dim your light? And when she said that to me, it just like woke me up. It woke me up because this is the first time in my life where I'm off at college. I'm on honor roll. I've never been like an honor roll kid, but I'm like, dang, I'm doing this thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here getting it.
Yeah.
And also, I was a part of the African American Culture Center. So I was in the organization called MAPS, and we had like day-to-day meetings. And I really like Miss Val, because Miss Val would be like, give me something positive that you have going on, like what happened in your week. She would make us say one thing that was like positive that we could like clap for each other for. And just being in that room and being around a whole about 30 something kids, well, kids, adults, whatever, and we were all like, I've never seen this. It was this guy, he had like a 4.0 GPA, he had a culinary degree, he was already like so many authors, people raising awareness for political views and stuff. And I was like, this is what we need to focus on when it comes down to like the Black communities, because my major was public relations, communications, and minor in African American studies. But to see how national news cover African American peoples, I was like, that's not me. Like it was like my homework assignments to watch national news, like CNN, NBC, and I'll never forget this one news segment that they covered. They covered President Barack Obama. They covered him because he was getting on Air Force One, but he was waving at the American people with a teacup in his hand, and they were like trying to dog him because he was waving at the American people. He's so disrespectful. He got this teacup in his hand. He's getting on Air Force One. And I just thought, over 1 billion people watch you every single day, and you get paid to report national news, right? And this is what you choose to focus on. And that's when I knew, like, I have to use my voice to be the change that I want to see. And so that's kind of how I got started with my journey, and like talking more and doing more.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if that's what sparked you to really get into our community and share those positive lights. And I also wanted to know, when you talked to, as you said, Dr. Jackson, what was her name?
Dr. Jefferson.
Dr. Jefferson. Was she the first person that connected with you like that? That really like stopped you, connected with your soul, and like, hey, and saw that she was dimming your light and asked you about that?
Well, I guess on like an academic level, yes. But I will also say that my mother kept me busy when it came to extracurricular activities. Of course, I'm a COD alum. I was a part of Delta Gyms. I was also, every first Saturday or second Saturday, I would go to Harvest Girls International. But I will say Chris Meadows, like, she's the president and founder over Harvest Girls International, and they are like a girls empowerment group that teaches us values, goals, and self-esteem. That's something, like, thinking back as a kid, I was like, oh, why do I gotta get up every Saturday, go to Glendale Library? Why do I have to be here? These girls aren't my friends. Why do I have to be here? But the people that she would bring into the room, like Kathy Holloway Hill, at the time she had her Living by Design show, and then it aired on Channel 40. Like, she would come in there and she would talk about her life story and how her life would look like this, but she completely did a 360 and changed it around. And I love hearing stories, and community members come in and talk about it. But if not for those extracurricular activities that I was a part of, I really feel like I wouldn't have my purpose as early as I understood it. Because a lot of people right now, like once you get out of college and you get into the workforce, you start to realize. I mean, I'm around people all the time who be like, I don't know what I'm doing at this job. This not really fulfilling me. I'm drained. It's because you ain't found your purpose, but you don't understand, but you haven't understood what's your why yet. So I'm so thankful that I had people like Chris Meadows and Dr. Jefferson who really poured into me. I could think of so many more people who poured into me, but I'm not gonna lie to you. Like at the time, I was like, this is not where I'm supposed to be. But now I find myself kind of like a counselor. Like I listen to your problems. I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna give you some key points on where to hit. I'm not a therapist. I never said none of that. I thought I wanted to be an advice column writer, but the radio station shut me down because they said it was too much liability. I understand them now.
So what I hear you say is that when your mom was putting you through all that, you were not happy. You did not like it.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Like self-discovery for COD, SAT prep, college, all that good stuff. I thought it was just, she was just trying to fill my time, like keep me out the house. Mm-hmm. But really, in all actuality, those programs made me think so hard about who I wanted to be and where I wanted to be in life. Like I had to answer those questions constantly. Didn't matter the program. Yeah. They would ask like, what do you want to do with your life? Where do you want to go? What do you see yourself doing? Like, so now I'm becoming a visionary. And I think right now, if I didn't have those groups and those organizations, I wouldn't be the visionary that I am today, because a lot of people, they never knew. Let's keep it a buck. I'll be telling people, yeah, I'm a media specialist. So what you do, post pictures on social media? No, that's not all I do. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. And sometimes it takes for people to see me in action. Other times, you got to be there to experience it and get all this joy and love and questions that I got to ask y'all.
Yeah, like this shit's dope. I've seen your interviews, at least some of them. I love them. And I was wanting to know, what do you think? I find them to be different than a lot of interviews I've seen. What do you think makes you stand out, like as far as the actual interview, like how you connect with who you're talking to, how are your questions created in your head? Like what makes it so, I feel like for me, it's the words I would probably give it would be authentic and connective. That's what comes to me. So, where are you creating?
Well, I appreciate you for one. Thank you for saying that. Believe it or not, I used to, when I first started, I used to write down my questions and I would send them off to whoever I was interviewing so that they had an idea of where my mind was. And I started realizing that a lot of people try to come prepared.
Yes.
And then they look stumped during the interview. So now we're not talking about nothing. We just sitting there. now we sitting there and I'm like, is she done with the question? They done with the question?
They just answered you like, boop, boop, boop. It wasn't a conversation. They just.
Absolutely. And they cut it off. I also like to just use the golden rule for real. You treat people how you want to be treated. Whether I'm interviewing a mom and pop shop or if I'm interviewing somebody like Nia Long or any big celebrity or whatever, I like to treat like you're human. You treat me good, I'm gonna treat you good. And so in the conversation, it has to be a mutual respect between both of us. And when I prepare for interviews, I don't try to go gimmicky. I don't look about what's trending over here and what they was doing last weekend. I wanna connect with your spirit. Yeah. I wanna connect with your spirit when I talk to you and make you feel like she really got me sitting over here thinking about me, and I spend 24 hours with myself.
Yeah.
I ask the questions that other people want to ask, but they haven't vocalized yet.
Oh shit, I might be a good interviewer then, because I'll be thinking about that too. So you just confirmed it for me. That's the
Yeah.
fire. I love that. So let's talk about it then. What's been your funnest interview?
Ooh, my funnest interview. Um, Nobody's gonna believe me when I say this, but I will say David Banner. When I interviewed him in Atlanta, I went down there for Juneteenth, and this is actually when Juneteenth was being proclaimed a national holiday, so it was right there. And I was in Atlanta, and I seen David Banner's speech when he was talking on the stage, but when he came over to the carpet, I asked him, like, what's one no that changed your life? You know what I'm saying? And he was like, wow, this is a really good question, because most people want to focus on my achievements, but never realize I too make mistakes or have a hiccup in the road. And for him to confirm, because one, I was kind of nervous, just a little bit, because I be catching flights or greyhounds. I don't care how I'm gonna get to the interview. It's just as long as I get to him and I have the conversation. But he was so like just chill and relaxed. And then after the interview was over, he was like, "What you doing? You got heart. I can tell you passionate about it." And him just like reaffirming me in my dreams and my vision was like, "Thank you. I appreciate it. I know you talk to 1,000 people, billions of people every year, but thank you for affirming my dreams."
Oh, yeah, that's powerful. And I do love David Banner. I can really see him saying that, taking that moment. And I will say it's an amazing question. Talking to a celebrity, because everybody does want to know, oh, what's popping, or who was you with last week, and the brands you with now, those kinds of things. So I love how you went on it.
Yeah, the trendy. I don't care about about y'all relationship status. I want to know the person. Like, I don't want to know about your downfall. So many news platforms. Of course, it's facts. Some of the stuff is factual. You know what I'm saying? There's no way around it. But what news platform do you know that focuses 24/7 on promoting African Americans in a positive light? Other than me, I'll wait.
Yeah.
I'll wait. If you know some, send it to me. I would love to tap in with them. But I just feel like we have so much more to offer. And if we keep treating ourselves like jokes, the world's gonna continue to see us as jokes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't play when it comes to my interviews. I'm so serious.
Love that shit. Yeah. When you're preparing for an interview, when you talk about like really trying to cover the positives, and things like that, how do you balance talking to someone, a human being, and of course talking about the positives, but really bringing the reality of their downfall, their struggles, or even yours, like when you're being interviewed? How do you find the balance between that to create a good interview where people, I think for me, like at least in my conversations that I have, I find it very powerful to spotlight the people I'm talking to, because who I'm choosing to talk to, like they're doing it in our community, but also not like, oh, this person's up here and we need to kind of get there. Like, no, this person, he was a person like us. She's doing all this great shit, but she's no more, higher than we are. And I want to show that in the interview. So how do you decide and create that in space, or do you think it's important?
Oh yeah. So I was just in a master class with Anthony Murdoch. Shout out to Murdoch, and he says we try to network on the scale of like on top of the ladder instead of lateral. Like, why don't we where we are at, look around the room and who's next to you? Those are the people who are already successful. You People think that the hierarchy of, oh, they've made this much money. That's their money. That don't got nothing to do with you.
Period.
Or when you gonna make it, or you know what I'm saying? Like, do not do the comparison game. It's gonna kill you every time. But yeah, so when I do interviews, I'm really myself. So I will tell them, okay, so I found this to be relatable in my life, and I was wondering, what's your take on it? Or I use two words because those two words kind of like shape my questions a lot. What's the impact, or what's the influence that you have on the community? So those two questions, I mean, well, two words, I kind of like to tease in, like, I saw this, like, this might be your reality, but I'm gonna shape it to where people are gonna be like, okay, I can talk about the bad, but I'm not gonna stay there for long.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah,
Oh shit.
those two words, like impact and influence, I know for sure.
Yeah.
Like, we might start off on a hard topic, hard to follow up through, but we gonna end in a good. We gonna be like, you know what? But I am still here to tell the story, and then we celebrate that on camera, on live, on Zoom, wherever we at. So
Yeah.
I'm always cheering the person that I'm interviewing on, because I'm like, dang, you dope. That's dope.
Yeah, no matter what they're doing, what they've done, what's in their past, what they're currently going through, because David Banner, Nia Long, any other celebrity that you have interviewed have gone through similar, if not the same shit that regular, folks go through. So
Absolutely.
when you're interviewing them or your experience in interviewing these people, all of them, what do you see as the kind of intricate similarities that everybody has, like even with you and them, like all of y'all together, people in general, the similarities that you see amongst people?
The similarities are, we know we got something great. We know we got something great, and just the right amount of people who hear our stories, how it flows. Like, there's like a clicking moment in an interview. Sometimes I try not to like just sit in it when I'm in an interview, because I'm like, you got 15 minutes. You got 15 to 20 minutes to knock this out. That's where I like to keep my interviews. But you got to focus on that. But when I'm replaying this interview, I've played it 6, 7, 8 times. When I've edited it, put it on my YouTube platform, before it even gets to you, I'm sending it to them like, hey, do you approve this message before I roll out the press?
Yeah.
So, but that clicking moment where everybody's like, I do have something of value, like, it's in me. That's just I can't describe. It's priceless. Like, literally seeing us all be like, yeah, we really offer great value to the world.
That's really true too, because when you're alone, I mean, you could talk about this too if you're open, like when you're not interviewing, when you're not momming, when you're not doing the brand ambassadoring and, different things like that, and you're alone. And oftentimes, even when you first got started, you may not have that experience now, but it was crickets when people weren't listening, people weren't sharing shit, people weren't showing up, whatever. I feel like social media really does create this space, no matter who you are, where if you're not careful, the likes, the shares, the comments, they really begin to like define the value you have in the world. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I would say, again, that it goes back to that self-esteem thing. Like, it was breaded into me, like, you matter. What you have inside of you is pure. Like, those earlier lessons have helped me when it comes to social media, because I look on social media every day. Somebody's picking up a microphone, and I'm not mad at them for picking up the mic, because we need more storytellers out here. But they're picking up the mic to see how many views they can get, versus a person with passion for the passion of the story and what they have to offer. So there needs to be more education, which coming soon. When it comes down to like why you're doing what you're doing. So I also can speak, like, with social media, you feel like you have to post every day. You feel like you got to show up every day. And baby, there again, like you said, when I first started, I was charging people 25 or $35 on to post a interview. And sometimes when I would go interview different businesses, I would catch the Greyhound. No, not the Greyhound, but I would catch Indigo bus. I would catch a Lyft, a Uber. That was $17 on my ride just getting to you. But I wanted to tell the story so bad, and I wanted to tell everybody like I really had this in me to do what I said I wanted to do. And so those moments just make me appreciate what's happening in my life right now, because I've always said I'm going to interview you, I'm going to tell your story, I'm going to be the brand ambassador that you guys are going to respect, because I respect myself and I respect everybody who comes on my show or my platforms. Yeah. But I'm going to give you the raw, the real. Anytime I feel like I'm authentic when it comes to my social media pages, because I will let you know I had a bad day, y'all. Everything is not peaches and rainbows over here. Right. But does the work get done? Yes, I'm consistent. That's one thing my audience is going to tell you. The Polished Lady's being consistent. She's been doing this for 5 years. I haven't seen the yellow stop. You won't see it stop. Do I get breaks? Yes, especially now, because I think I told you earlier that I've started my full-time entrepreneur journey. Been doing that for 4 months now. Sometimes after I drop him off at school, I have the luxury of laying on the couch and not doing nothing. But when we were in COVID, I didn't appreciate that time because we were forced to be in the house and do nothing. We could have low-key do nothing. But during that time, I was sliding in people's DMs. I was still offering my interviews, but doing it virtually to connect with people in other cities, yeah. which then again, people's like, oh, she's still working even when she locked in the house. Like, I literally, one of the big moments, I guess you could say, in my career was the BMF interview. Mm-hmm. They invited me to cover the BMF movie premiere, but in the email, I'm sitting over here like, I didn't apply for this. I don't know how my name got on Stars radar. And I was like, and ultimately I gotta fly out there. But first I was like, nah, this is a scam. You know, you get all these scammy emails and telling you what they gonna do, what they gonna pay you, what they gonna let you do. Come to find out, I didn't listen. I use my network so well. I didn't track down like, okay, this is legit. This is a whole legit. But because I waited so late, I didn't get on the red carpet for the movie premiere in Atlanta. But later down the line, they still had my name on the PR list, so I was able to interview Lil Zane and Miles Bullock, which if you remember BMF, yeah, they cut his lights off, y'all.
Oh, so look that up. So what has kept you grounded then? What has kept you grounded and kept you going through caring, through maybe the no's that I know you've gotten, as we all do as we grow, to keep you really just being consistent when you talk about that's one thing people on the last 5 years for you?
Girl, I like your questions. I love them. I love them. I'm gonna say two things that have kept me grounded. One, realizing that no's not temporary. I mean, like forever. It's not forever. It's temporary. That's been super important for me in my journey because basically when I started the Polished Lady brand, my general manager, he told me no, which that was the fuel for me to be like, you know what, I'm gonna post this video, I'm gonna introduce who I am, what I'm bringing to the table, period. And I've been running ever since with that type of energy. And then the other thing I would say that's kept me grounded is I wish a lot of people understood that you don't need others to save you. A lot of people, like, you don't need a rescue team. Of course, support is needed. There's no way I would be where I am, or when it comes to the level of respect people have for the Polished Lady brand, without the Polished People tribe and their love and support of watching my videos and my content. But you really have to internalize, I did the work, I showed up for myself. You didn't need 400,000 other peoples to validate that. You need to start with self.
Yeah. Tell us about the yellow.
Oh yeah. Okay, Polished Prince, I need you back upstairs. Thank you. I'll see you later. Mama. Yep. Tell the Polished people bye. Say bye, Miss Regina.
Bye, Miss Regina. That's
Bye.
Regina.
It is.
What'd he say?
Go ahead, baby.
Mama.
Go upstairs, baby.
Mama.
We'll talk later.
Skittles.
No. All right. So the yellow came about because my good friend Olivia Foreman, she was doing some coaching, consulting, and we sat down and she was talking about like my social media page, and I looked at. She was the first person I ever heard of did a brand audit on me, and with the brand audit, she basically was like, "These are brand colors. You need one." I'm looking at her like, this is great, coach. This is really great. And so I did what I do best. I asked my community and those who was watching, like, when you think about me, what do you think about? And a lot of people said, like, bubbly, inspiring, hopeful, happy, just like a ball full of energy. Yeah. And so when you look up yellow, you see it's about inspiration. It brings about happy thoughts, and that's what I wanted my content to represent. So that's why I always say love and light, stay polished. Yeah. That means to keep going and keep establishing yourself.
Ooh, thank you for saying that too, because I didn't know what the underlying meaning was for that. So for anyone that's watching or that will be watching later, I know you have your son, and a lot of moms that I talk to, and even in my environment, I know he's like, look, don't worry. I know how old is he? 5, right? He's still good to give you this hour. He's good. We're going to wrap this up. But let us know, like, what would you say to the mom that feels like, I have kids, so I can't do this, or I can't balance both, or they are doing it and it's being, building something of their own, and it just has proven to be much more difficult than they thought.
Give me a before I open cupcakes.
I'll let you do it.
Love you, Miss Gina.
All right, bye-bye. Cute. See what I mean about that Hall of Fame? He got it, baby.
Ready.
So what I would say to like moms who feel like you guys can't do it, I didn't even know I was cut out to be a mother. Like, I never had that vision, be a mom, or I'm gonna have a family, it's gonna be great, I'm gonna be somebody's mama. Never. No. Wow. Never had that dream. And then April the 20th, 2018, that little boy changed my life. But one day we were in the NICU, and I was like I prayed over Waleed, but we was again having a conversation. I think I recorded it too. Wow. It might be already posted on my YouTube. I'm gonna have to go back and look at it. But again, I had the conversation with Waleed. I said, I will never stop being me, because that's the best way I know how to be a mother for you. To be the best person that I can be for you is through living out my dreams. And a lot of our parents will say to you, I had to cut my dreams out so that you could live a better life. I don't agree. I can't. I mean, like, unless you was doing drugs, you know what I'm saying? And unless you had to run away from somebody, domestic violence, that's the only. I do not believe that I can't fulfill my dreams and still raise you to be a great individual, a amazing human being. So like, you can still do it. Of course, you're always gonna have the naysayers in the back. Like, there was times I had to leave my son. He was 6 months. I was breastfeeding him. I had to go out and do training in Washington D.C. and everybody's like, you just had a C-section. You need to be sitting at home breastfeeding your baby. You need to pump your milk. Blah 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 blah. But I'm like, no, I gotta go. Like, this opportunities, they don't wait. They don't wait for no one. If that makes sense. Of course, you could say, it'll come around again, but you really never know.
Yeah.
And every time I've jumped after something I've been wanting to do, or something I told myself I was gonna do, I've shocked myself. I've amazed myself. And when I come home, the first person I want to tell is my son. The first person I want to celebrate with. I want to get graham crackers and apple juice. Like, that's our shindig. So I want to do that, watch a movie. He loves our popcorn movie nights. Like, we still have that. But you can't let being a parent stop you from being you, because it's in you.
Mm-hmm.
If you proclaim, like, this is what I want to do it. Stop letting time, money, materials, like, I could tell you right now, I posted on social media the other day, I got to get to Atlanta on the 24th. I got invited to do something really big, but I'm like, this don't pay me. Come on now, you just 4 months into your entrepreneurship journey, and so I'm like trying to secure my funds before, the winter season hits, because it's about to be slow when it comes down to events or people not showing up and people not wanting to do stuff. So, but my tribe knows that I really put on and try to show up for the community. And one of my tribe members, they blessed me. Like, they blessed me to pay for the flight. I didn't ask nobody for no money. I wasn't going to ask. I was going to catch the Greyhound, because I'm not too prideful to get to where I'm going. Like, my mindset's already strong. Like I told you, I'm a visionary, and I feel like if you believe that you too are destined to change the world in whatever way, whatever shape that looks like for you, do it. You literally have to do it. And I'm not telling y'all this because it sounds glorious. I'm telling you based off true experiences. Like, wow, my life's been real dope ever since I jumped at an opportunity to do me. But doing me doesn't mean I stop being a mom. Oh, you're gonna have that title forever. Right. You're gonna have that title forever. They gonna grow up, and then one day I hope Wally like turns to me and asks me, Mom, what have you done to fulfill your dreams? Because we're always talking about kids. What you want to be when you grow up? What's gonna happen when that kid turns around and look at you and say, what have you done to fulfill your dreams? And you ain't got a comment. Now you scrambling. You looking like
well,
I'm gonna be like, nah, baby, let's sit down. We're gonna have a real good talk.
Right. I love that, because I was on an interview before, and I had said that too. Like, I'm a woman before I'm a mom, and I don't subscribe to that. I'm a mom, so everything goes to the left now. For a couple of reasons, but what stands up, hearing from you, kind of agree, is that I model the behavior for my kids. And so if I'm catering everything to a certain person, there's so much that they're missing out of that they don't see. Like, I want my kids to see me building a business, to see, damn, that person didn't show up, and what me talking about that experience, or I thought something was gonna come through and it didn't. And then those ups of like, look, we flying out here to do this, or I'm able to be with y'all and just go on vacation when most people were at work because of what I decided to do, or like all the things that we do. And I think that there's a lot of guilt and shame. Like, my mom guilt comes like, oh, I'm a mom, so they come first. And I just find that definition of first really just, it's not the same everything. and you could, just because you are building a business here and you ain't fully present 100% with your kid, like that's just our thoughts that make us think that that messes the relationship up. Like you can have a very strong, just like you got an old friend you ain't seen in a year, you pick it back up like nothing ever happened, right? Like it's not like, for me, it's like the power in raising a child is them being able to see what's possible, and we're like the first people that allow that for them to see, you know?
Right.
Keela, so Will Keela, your preacher. And then are you able to see the comments?
Uh,
That's what Lisa
I
said.
do see one. I'm preaching. Shout out to my girl. Period.
Lisa, yeah, she
Wait.
said something else, but I can't see it.
I think I know I did read it. I I didn't want to cut you off though.
You go ahead.
She asked me like what got me into journalism, and I just feel like there wasn't a voice for African American people to be positively seen and heard. So that's really what got me into journalism. There we go. Yep.
Okay, yeah.
I have loved watching you evolve and grow professionally. What got you into media? Okay, yes. So yeah, like not seeing a voice that positively promoted the African American community and realize like we have more than the entertainment culture. We should we shift economic impact, social impact, and we're the reason a lot of things are,
Popping.
you know,
Period.
yeah.
Period. I also
Yeah.
I don't want to forget to say this when you talked about like securing your funds for the winter, shit gets slow, people don't show up, all that. I just want to offer you that there are certain people that have a light in them no matter what season it is, and that is you. Like 100%. I'm not like sugarcoating shit. Like for real. Like, and I've seen this with my husband. Like back when he first,
She's gonna make me cry.
but for real, his first several years of tattooing, like his mind prepared him for the time that, you know, it was winter, Christmas, all these holidays, and people weren't showing up. His funds was cut in the moment, and because his mind told him that, he prepared for that, showed up with that energy, and so that always happened. When he transitioned, like I'm a bomb ass tattoo artist every day of the year, every season of the year. People want tattoo. There's people out here thriving in the winter, and I'm one of those. Like when you really transition, we don't see a drop in income because it's January, because it's December. So like carrying energy of like, I don't give a fuck what day it is. Like I'm out here carrying stores covered. People want me, people need me, they're coming for me. Like I'm the polished lady. Like you, that's you. I'm hearing you speak like you evolving and being that person no matter what fucking day of the year it is, you know?
Straight up.
And that proof, you saw that proof too. Like somebody paid for your flight. Like who does that? You know what I mean? Like, but energy can be felt. And that goes to your point of you don't need 4,000 people and you know all these things. Like all you gotta do is show up and be serious about it, and like the universe will really bring you whatever it is, no matter what.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord, saints. Praise the Lord.
All right, girl, let them know what you're looking for. What are you, what's fun? What's happening? What can we expect from you? Is there certain kind of interviews you're looking to do? Like tap in. I don't know. Never know who's watching.
So yeah, you guys, I do offer interviews as a way of telling your brand story, and I like non-traditional businesses. Like if you have a business idea or even like a product or a service that I could, you know, show up, try to utilize, see how it works, and shout out to the polished people. I would love to do that. Actually I just did a collaboration with Natasha, aka Cakes by Lucky. So that was really dope. Like she really pushed me out of my comfort zone, and y'all, one of my favorite words is brazen. The word brazen means to be bold without restraint. I learned that in SAT prep. Shout out to COD.
Love that.
And I'm always like, I think you should just jump. I have that type of personality. Like, I think you should just jump. But anyways, when I had to make my own cake, I was like, I don't know about this, Harpo. I think you should take what you telling me to do and you do it. But she was patient with me. Wow, she's an amazing teacher, and I was like, ooh, this can be like a new avenue for me. I'm thinking, as far as like Undercover Boss.
Oh
What if I
yeah.
what if I did that like in the community? Like I was already doing like the Polished Lady tour and going into different businesses to interview the owners, but what if I did something like a segment where the Polished Lady comes to you, you enlope me into whatever your business is, and we take off from there. Just vibe off energy.
Yeah.
Um, Something I'm really excited about. I'll drop this. You get the exclusive, girl. I'm I'm about to interview the former Miss Universe, Miss Juanita Ingram Brown. And wow, she's accomplished. She's an Esquire. She's an Emmy winner, expat, filmmaker. Like she has so many accomplishments under her belt. That's coming up really soon. I'll be interviewing Snile Lathan.
Oh wow, you're in dope ass people. How can we stay like from what I see your interviews? I see them after. Is there a way to see them like before live, or we just wait till you post them on your personal?
So it's hard to, okay, so like initially I wanted to do live ones, but sometimes they might mess up or they be like cut this part out, so that's why I can't do them live anymore. But if I'm like at Blacktoberfest or that block party, that's when I'm able to like do more live, because it's like I can't go back and edit. It's fast posting content, and people want to live in the moment with me. So long form interviews I can't do live.
But we see it on your
I
personal page and on your YouTube, right?
Yes, on my personal page and my YouTube, you can definitely catch that content.
Yeah. When we hop off in the comments, make sure you put everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely become a part of the crew or act as the CEO for the day, giving the behind the scenes. Period, girl. You better
that would be
come through.
Like an indie season. You know what I mean? Like that would be so fun.
Yeah.
You need to tap in.
Yeah. I mean, I've been wanting to bring back the Polished Lady tour, which, like, for those of you who just hopped on here, like I said, it's me going into different Black-owned businesses, interviewing them, and also they provide like a discounted service while I'm in the space for the hour. I did that. It was 2 businesses a day, and we hit Northeast, Southwest, and that was great. But the turnaround time for me to like turn over those interviews, baby, like every day. And then I had sponsorships on my makeup and the hair, so I had to wake up and do that. So it was a lot of rolling pieces. I'm only one person. I won't say it's impossible because I've done it before, but I just have to I'm really counting on the community. I'm saving my, can y'all help me? I be saving my, can y'all help me for a later date? Like, so yeah, probably that indie season. That's when I'm gonna be like, all right now, where y'all at?
Facts, for real. Okay, well, let us know when that's happening. Thank y'all, everyone who tuned in. Do you have any last thing you want to let the people know?
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed our conversations. I promise you, the first time we had the conversation about you know. You know. I ain't gonna tell everybody my business like that.
Yeah.
But basically I appreciate you for having me. You guys, please don't give up on what it is that you want to do. Like, I can't stress that enough. I don't care if the storm is loud, it's thundering, it's lightning. I don't care what's going on. I don't care if the internet bill got to get cut off for you to go someplace to put $10 in your tank. I don't care. You got to go through it, because because what about the outcome of you flying? Like, I can only think about the win. I mean, of course, we can focus on the negative all day, but where does it get us? We're going to be stagnant in one thought. But think of all the places we'll go. Come on, Dr. Seuss.
Yes, for real though.
Think about all the places we gonna go, baby, when we put forth our ideas, our thoughts, our actions towards the things we want to achieve. Like, I can't stress this to you guys enough. I want to see y'all win. I celebrate y'all wins as if they are my own, my tribe. We collectively, like, I move with people who want to go forth and do great things in the world. So I just know y'all winners. And I can't wait to celebrate or tell you a story whenever we link up. So thank you once again. I'll be brief with that.
Yeah, thank you for blessing us. Have you ever heard of Napoleon Hill?
Napoleon Hill?
Yeah. So
No.
everybody watching, and for you, he agreed to, like, he's Think and Grow Rich, Outwitting the Devil. Like, and he talks about that, just like that point of giving up, like what's on the other side of pushing through when you're like, man, fuck this. And like, and if you just watch anybody's success story, they always have that point right before they really hit their dreams and made them, where like life gave them fucking hell, and it wasn't a going back, and
Absolutely.
that's how they every success they're looking to. So thank you for sharing that, and thank you for blessing us here today.
I had a ball, girl. Shout out you, girl. You asked some good questions too. I was sitting over here like, I thought I knew what we was gonna talk about, but she piggybacked so quick. I said, oh, wait a minute.
Nah, though, like, I thank you. I just really wanted us to connect with you as a person, and I see the light in you. I'm so grateful to know you. I love what you're doing. You'll be sharing my story for sure, and I hope that everybody listening definitely taps in to listening to other people's story and share theirs. I think it's beautiful, and I think that your dream and goal to really help people see their own light is that's that collective, right? That collective awareness that we're raising, just like one person at a time. So just remember this, go back and watch this shit when you do feel down and out, because like this is so needed. You so silly, girl.
I ain't gonna cry, but I'm gonna let you know it's all love.
Aw, thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Peace, polished people.